What is up, Renaissance crew? I'm the original Renaissance man, Devon DaVinci, and you're watching DaVinci Reacts. I have a video that I want to check out. You guys know that I've been getting into Frankie Boyle and, well, really a lot of UK and European comedians. And Frankie Boyle is one of them that stood out completely to me. I never watched any of his stand-up. I've only watched his Mock the Week. I've only watched his Mock the Week videos, and I've only watched one compilation where he was talking crap to the audience, but I never actually sat back and watched one of his stand-ups. So I went to YouTube, I typed in his name, and I checked up what kind of stand-ups he had, and I saw that he performed at the Apollo. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but the Apollo is one of the biggest things that launches celebrities or, you know, certain acts into the stratosphere. Usually it's what separates someone from the amateurs to becoming just a bona fide star. If you can make it in the Apollo, you can make it anywhere. And this is where a ton of people got their big breaks. Michael Jackson, I think James Brown. I don't know if James Brown was already established before he did the Apollo, but he was one of them. You know, if you've done the Apollo, then and you succeeded, then it's something that usually sticks with you for the rest of your career. And the fact that Frankie Boyle shows up at the Apollo, and if it's uploaded, then that means that he did well. He didn't get swept off the stage, because the Apollo can be pretty savage themselves when it comes to entertainment and acts. So as savage as Frankie Boyle is, the Apollo can be just as savage. And who knows, maybe this is a match made in heaven. Let's go ahead and check this out and see what it has to offer. This video was uploaded by Ars Raptor. I know what that means. That's funny. Be sure to check out his channel because he has a lot of subscribers. And sometimes I get nervous about recommending content uploaders that do comedy acts because a lot of times the other content isn't related at all to the comedian or comedy in general. And a lot of times they don't have anything to do with the comedian, so it's not like the comedian gets a piece of the video when you watch it. So if there's any way that, well, honestly, if there's a way that they can, if there's a way for Frankie Boyle to content ID these videos, I would have no problem with it. But, I mean, if it's uploaded by somebody else, I will be reacting to that. You know, if it's from the original content creator, I'll always go to their channel. But if it's not on YouTube, then it's anybody's ball game. Let's go ahead and check this out and see what it has to offer.
Hello! Been quite busy letting myself go. I decided to stop caring about my appearance when I realised that the reason that women weren't having sex with me was because of my personality. I'm quite out of shape at the moment. At the moment when I'm lying down and I get an erection, it sort of looks like a motorcyclist emerging over the brow of a hill. I don't think women mind. Women don't mind heavier guys. I think women look at me and think, he would go down on me like a parched spaniel. I have a theory. I have a theory that masturbation is a kind of summoning spell for your own rational mind. Because we're all so driven by hormones and by desire. Sometimes you've got to have a wank to speak to your real self. You go, oh, I should have shagged my ex one last time. I'll text her, I'll meet her, I'll shag her. And then you come and a little voice comes on in your head that goes, yeah, don't do that, mate.
Exactly. That is true. That is very true. If you're in a situation where you're at a club or you're thinking about talking to somebody, it's someone that you don't normally, it's something that you would not normally mess with, but maybe you're just feeling like, all right, well, you know, I just want something from them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really care too much about sticking around. I just want something from them, and after that, then we can go our separate ways and just fuck it. But if you're like in that situation, just go to the bathroom, relieve yourself, and then ask yourself the question again. I guarantee you, the decision you come up to will be more thought out and rational than what you originally thought. There have been times when I've been like, Sometimes I'll look on the internet, like on a dating app or something like that, and I'll be thinking about, okay, should I talk to this person? You know, they fit my appearance thing, like my appearance requirements. They fit all those, but there's some iffy stuff in this bio, and they seem like a person that I would just get on my freaking nerves, but they got a big butt. I don't care. Let me go ahead and message them. And then you go somewhere, like, wait a minute, hold on, let me make sure beforehand. Go somewhere, relieve yourself, come back. I don't think I'll do it. Swipe left. Let's go ahead and check this out.
You've got to be careful with jokes, haven't you? Because not everybody's got a sense of humour.
That's true too.
I can remember when I first realised not everybody's got a sense of humour. I was 13, I was at school, and we were doing a class on stereotypes. The teacher was a really good guy. He's just talking about how stupid stereotypes are. And he was talking about a stereotype that day that's so old-fashioned and so Scottish that you definitely won't have heard it. Have you ever heard the stereotype that deaf people are really strong?
I never heard
That
it.
was a genuine thing when I was growing up. Deaf people, particularly deaf and dumb people, were believed to be really strong.
Yeah, dumb
And the
people.
teacher said, think
I've
how
heard
stupid
very
that
strong.
is.
Yes.
Have you ever seen a deaf contender for the heavyweight championship of the world? At me, age 13, I put my hand up and I went, there was one, sir, but he was disqualified for punching after the bell. And nobody laughed. And I knew right then that life was going to feel pretty long. You've got to have a bit of leeway with jokes, haven't you? I can't write jokes for the average person, can I? The average person is Chinese.
True. True.
With the Queen's 90th birthday this year, with a street party round my way with jelly and ice cream. Nothing to do with the Queen, we're just trying to flush out a local paedophile.
Damn.
The Queen has 2 birthdays a year, one each for her human and lizard forms.
Damn.
Don't get me wrong, I want the Queen to live a long life, because the longer she lives, the more days we get off on holiday when she dies. The moment she's a long weekend, God bless her, if she makes it to 100, we're going to get a week off. Some people don't like the Queen. There was a thing a couple of years ago. There's a fund of money for very poor people to heat their homes in an emergency, and the royal household tried to get a hold of that money to heat Buckingham Palace. Heat Buckingham Palace. We don't want her dying in winter. A week off in winter is no good to anybody. We want her to go at the height of summer where we can turn into 3 weeks in Tenerife. It's the funeral today, boys. Black armbands on the flumes.
I will say this joke, and it is a dark joke. I'm going to warn you right now, it's dark. But I've heard people make jokes like, oh man, I wish if somebody did shoot up this job or something like that, I wish they would do it on a Monday. Because if you do it on a Friday, it's going to be closed on the weekend anyway. We still have to come in on Monday. If you're going to do it on Monday, that way we got the entire week off. That's fucked up. I know that in the society we live in now, mass shootings and stuff is a serious topic, and it's still happening, so it's still relevant. But it's still a funny joke. That's all I gotta say.
I honestly think that the government are saving the Queen's death for when they need a really big distraction. Theresa May will go around there one week, pull a pillow out of her briefcase. Go, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm afraid that ISIS have just landed in Cornwall.
Damn.
So we had Brexit. People are saying after Brexit...
Oh, this is new.
...that British people don't trust experts anymore. I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is that British people have strong opinions based on nothing at all. Strong opinions.
This is something the British viewers would have to comment on because it's outside of my ability to grasp.
Strong opinions on very little information because we're a decadent society. It's exactly the same thing that happened to the ancient Romans. Probably. I've never really bothered to find out. I enjoyed voting in Brexit. Not for the sake of democracy, it's just rare for me to be allowed into a scout hall unchallenged. So we elected Theresa May. We didn't even elect her. She just wandered in there like she'd stepped out of a haunted mirror. Theresa May looks like she's entirely made out of bones, doesn't she? She looks like she's made out of the bones that they forgot to put into Boris Johnson. He's the Foreign Secretary. A cross between a head injury and an unmade bed. It's not just that he's the worst person for the job, he might be the worst mammal.
I do know Theresa May and Boris Johnson.
A lot of racism post-Brexit. I think British people just get immigrants to do the jobs that they can't face doing themselves, which is why Nigel Farage has a German wife.
I don't know who Nigel dude is, but...
My favourite Farage thing was when he dodged the question of whether he thought Idris Elba should be the next James Bond. And I think Idris Elba would be a great James Bond, because I want to see a Bond movie where the pre-credit sequence is just a black guy trying to drive an Aston Martin through central London. Someone seems to be shooting at us, Bond. I think it's the Met.
Is profiling that bad in London too? Is this something that's an issue over there as well? I don't know. I always thought that London was different. I knew somebody from the UK at my old job, and it was actually refreshing. Like, it was somebody, like the fact that you can talk to somebody and you can tell that they're not like when you first meet someone, especially like if you fit the stereotypes of like a thug or something, because I know, like, I have friends and family, you know, with the tattoos on their neck and everything else, but, you know, they're cool. Like, they're not like somebody that just outright just does shit. They're somebody that, you know, as long as you're cool with them, they're absolutely cool with you, and they'll do just about anything for you. And the fact that, like, we met this woman, and she was just like, just friendly as hell. It was like, damn, this is kind of refreshing. Like, this is her first time meeting her. She don't know us, but she's like, you know, just happy. And the fact that, like, in other situations you would meet someone and they would just like be hesitant, or they would judge you, or they would like be kind of like standoffish, like, all right, well, you don't come in here with no bullshit or something like that. It's like, we didn't do anything, we just came in, whatever. But yeah, I mean, obviously this is a joke. I'm taking it a little bit too serious, and for those of you that might get mad at what I just said, just remember, you're probably the same ones that sit there and say that other people get offended too easily for jokes. Just stop and reflect on that real quick. Anyway, let's go ahead and get back into it.
I don't want to sound like I'm too down on racists here. Some of my best friends are racists. Although, to be fair, they're black and they've got a point. There's a kind of anti-refugee racism in there, especially in the summer. You know, you'd read about some guy rowing over here in a sink, and people would be going, oh, send him back. Don't send him back. There was an Olympics coming up. Get him involved. There's this element to anti-refugee racism. People say, oh, ISIS are sending agents disguised as refugees. ISIS are infiltrating Britain as refugees. That's not happening. And I can prove that it's not happening. Because ISIS recruit people from here to go and fight in Syria, to go and fight in Iraq. Why would they be sending anyone? Do you think someone's phoning up ISIS tomorrow going, all right, mate, I could nip down to London tomorrow and do a bit of terrorism? No! You come here! Ahmed will do the terrorism! Ahmed is currently clinging to a mattress in the middle of the Mediterranean! Ahmed will do the terrorism! It's no bother, mate. I can get a day return on the megabus. No! You come here! Through several strict border and security checks! Ahmed will do the terrorism! Ahmed is currently on a raft made out out of old 7-Up bottles. He's fighting off sharks with a Velveeta super mop. Ahmed is our top agent. And it's vital that he spends the next 5 years in a refugee camp. It's a real-life version of the Hunger Games. The prize is a sandwich.
Ahmed's life is fucked.
I should point out, Americans do need to worry about refugees. Americans do need to worry. Because a refugee in America might get involved in a mass shooting just to try and fit in.
That is
think there'll be peace in the Middle East once the oil runs out. Although knowing their luck, someone will invent a replacement that involves mixing sand with falafel. My family, for generations before me, they were sheep farmers, shepherds really. And I kind of think I'm a bit like that. Like being on my own, like walks, and I make my living controlling large crowds of stupid animals. Do you know that job I would have liked to have? I would have liked to have worked on a bin lorry. That's the one job where you can really shout your head off all day long. Is that a bin over there? Bring it over here, put it in the bin lorry. There's another bin. I'll get it. I'll bring it up to the bin lorry. I'll drive the bin lorry forward a bit. You get the bins. They could do that job in complete silence, couldn't they? Just have a wee meeting at the start of the shift every day. Okay, let's agree that when we're out there today, we're going to pick up all the bins. Put them in the bin lorry. I'd have liked to be a doctor. I think that sense of humour goes a long way as a doctor. What do you mean you want a second opinion? You've already had one. He said it was Alzheimer's as well.
I just got that.
I don't like celebrity atheists. I don't trust them. I'm an atheist. I was a very bad Catholic, unless you include my attitude to condoms, in which case I was an absolutely amazing Catholic. Because religions have done good things. The Quakers fought against the Vietnam War. Liberation theology in Central America, those people all got killed. They got killed for standing up for poor people. And what's the reward? To be looked down on by Ricky Gervais. I don't need Ricky Gervais to tell me that God doesn't exist when I watched Derek get recommissioned twice. I was walking down the street today and I saw a homeless guy. I went to give him some money and I realised I only had a £20 note. I thought, do I really want this money being spent on drugs? And I decided that I didn't, so I gave it to the homeless guy. This only happens to me in London. You get people who go, don't give them money, they just spend it on beer and fags. I'd always assumed that they were spending it on beer and fags. I've never given money to a homeless guy and thought, I hope he's putting that into his ISA. I don't trust the super rich. Do you know that there are now hotels for the super rich that are so exclusive that when you phone down and ask for an extra pillow, that's actually a code word. That's a code for a prostitute. Imagine that, you phone down, you ask for an extra pillow, and a prostitute turns up. Now you've got 2 prostitutes. And only 1 pillow to smother them with.
Damn. God damn.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for your first act of the evening?
Oh, man. So he was actually hosting. Now, I don't know if this is the same as the American Apollo. If it is, somebody let me know. I'm not sure if the UK has another Apollo. I mean, it would make sense. Apollo is a pretty big name in entertainment, so it would make sense that they would, like, franchise it out and pretty much just like let other people either use it or open their own like branches in other areas. Like I said, it makes sense that they would do that. Frankie Boyle is a freaking trip, man. I mean, obviously some jokes go over my head because you have to be a part of like that European culture to fully get it. And I will let you guys know that if there's a joke that kind of goes over my head, usually I'll let you guys know. But for the most part, I can get what he says, and I get the context of the jokes, and some of them are a little bit outside of the box, like the Alzheimer's joke. That was actually very funny. I didn't see it coming. I didn't know where it was going, but I guess the Alzheimer's patient didn't either. So I feel a little bit better about myself. The ISIS joke was funny. Ahmed was just he has a horrible ass life. He just kept throwing like different things on top. It was just worse and worse and worse. It was like, God damn, no wonder he's a damn terrorist. He wants to destroy life in general. Like he is more to it than just like political sides. He just hates life. What he said was true too. It doesn't make sense why terrorists would like import terrorists when they already can just like convert people that are already in it. And that's the thing that like recently there was I believe it was a terrorist attack in Paris. There was a shooting in Paris, and President Trump, he had said something about, well, this is why we need border security and this, that, and the other, even though the issue wasn't an immigration issue. The person that committed the act was somebody that was born and raised in Paris. So it wasn't like he immigrated into it and he was just like filtered through the vetting system and happened to just get through it. No, he was someone that was already there from the beginning. So that was kind of an irrelevant argument to say like, oh, well, you should this should help with the whole border wall issue, when that's not the case. A little bit serious topic. I don't believe that the border wall is going to fix anything. I think it's more so a symbol. I don't think that it's needed or necessary, because from what I come to understand, illegal immigration, most of it isn't from people physically running and crossing the border. Most of it is people that come through on work visas, or they get some type of where you stay for a limited amount of time based on whatever you're doing, whether it's school, work, or whatever, and they just overstay their welcome. That's it. That tends to be where most of the immigration, or most of the illegal immigration, comes from. They come in here legally and then they overstay their visa, and for the most part, like they just stay. Hell, some people stay because they're afraid that if they go back, they'll have a harder time coming back in. So yeah, I don't think that the border wall is going to fix anything. And even if they did cross physically through the border wall, there are other ways to come into the country. They can fly in, they can come in through tunnels, they can be smuggled in through cars or whatever else. So a wall isn't going to fix anything. Like I said, I think it's more so like a structure, like something that, like a landmark that's tied to Donald Trump, something that he can put his name on, sometimes possibly physically, and he can point to it and be like, yeah, that's mine. Like, I think that's the reason why the wall is such a big issue, despite the fact that if you put it up, like I said, it's not going to fix anything. Anyway, that's been my reaction. Let me know what you guys thought. If you enjoyed it, let me go ahead and get that like, comment, subscribe, and be sure to share the videos. I will be moving on to something else. I think I'm pretty much done for today. Tomorrow I'll be doing more requests, and if you guys want to, like I said, I have a live stream that I plan on doing tomorrow. I have one today, but chances are by the time this comes out, that'll already be done. So you can check my video page for the archive of that. I'll be playing Red Dead Redemption 2, and tomorrow I'll be playing Chrono Trigger. So if you guys want to check that out, be sure to go ahead and stick around for tomorrow, when I will be uploading that, which will be about 7 p.m. Eastern time. So 7 p.m. Eastern time, you can come in, you can chat with me. I chat with anybody that's in the actual chat. If you comment something, I'll normally always address it. And if you happen to have a request or a video request, normally I don't take it during live streams, but if you give me a super chat, which is pretty much a $5 donation or anything like that, and you just make sure you let me know what you want me to react to, I will not only react to what you want me to what you requested, but I will react to it immediately. So that means the very next time I start recording videos, I will react to it. So that's something that you guys can look forward to, and hopefully I will see you there. I'm the original Renaissance man, Devon DaVinci, giving you the deuces. Peace.